All right, we are live. Let me just check to make sure everything is happening. Welcome, everyone. Episode 3, Midnight Americano. Glad you could join me. Let's see. Just getting set up. Mute tab, mute tab. There we go. And let's see. Live on YouTube. How about Rumble? Rumble, we are live. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this for Rumble. I see a number of people over there on YouTube hanging out. You can also hang out on Rumble. That's the whole point of doing this. Just get people to join Rumble. Join my channel on Rumble. We're at rumble.com/coffeenuance/live. You can just bookmark it, and we're easy to find. But look, the whole crew's hanging out here. We got Lucid Moments, Natasha, what's up? Erie Fairy, nice. Good to see you all. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm just going to do one thing. I want to see if we're on the front page of Rumble. Let's just see. Okay, we got some guy named Gideon. We got the pics. Kim Iverson is a pic. Okay, cool. I'm just scrolling down just to see if I'm on the front page, if we have any chance of reaching some new people. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Still not seeing anyone. Let's see. Keep going. Nope. Nope. Well, maybe next time. Maybe I just need to put a really attractive woman on my thumbnail. Perhaps that will perhaps that'll get me the views. That'll get me on on the front page. That's what we're trying to do. Get on the front page, reach some new people. And if there's anyone new, welcome. My name's Tom Coffey, spelled with a Y. And this is Midnight Americano, because we like wordplay. You like wordplay when you get older. They're called dad jokes for a reason, right? Yeah, oh, you can't play Rumble videos with the screen off. Okay, so you got to watch on YouTube. Well, you know, Rumble's making changes every day, so perhaps they're good. OX_00 checking in. Rumble's good. They got this month of more streaming started. That's awesome. That's awesome. I like seeing the American flag there. Nice, John. I like that. But what the heck? I wrote, between my last show and this show, I was out cutting wood. Been doing a lot of cutting wood recently. I have a lot of limbs and branches. I think tomorrow I'm going to load it up, go to the dump or the recycling place with all of my my branches. Probably got two big truckfuls, like a rental. I'm going to rent a U-Haul, move it all. But that's what I've been doing all day out there with the chainsaw. Yes, an AI lady. That's what I need. I'll make an AI lady for the thumbnail. We'll see how that works. We'll see how that works. You need clickbait titles that include things people search for. You know, that is true. So I can call, like perhaps I can call it Midnight Americano with Tom Coffey. Tonight, interview with RFK Jr. and Taylor Swift. I mean, that might work. That might work. So, yeah. Well, maybe I'll try that tomorrow. But yeah, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So anyway, I actually went through the news of the day and wrote a little monologue of bad jokes Maybe they're all right jokes. They're all right jokes. So, yeah, let's get to it. I still don't have any new original music, but I'll just lead into it with an oldie, but a goodie. So it seems Georgia is redrawing its congressional districts after violating the Voting Rights Act. They say they're just redefining districts, but it's more like trying to draw a get out the vote coloring book with crayons made by gerrymandering. I know it's a bit of a political one. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis claims that Florida's red flag law isn't effective and that he wouldn't sign any gun measure if elected president. Instead, he suggested institutionalizing more people with mental health issues. He's basically saying guns don't kill people. We institutionalize them first. I don't know, that might work. Oh, so Dean Phillips, this is news. Dean Phillips, a 3-term representative from Minnesota, is running against President Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination with no real policy differences. Yeah. Maybe his campaign slogan should be like, I'm not saying he's wrong, but have you seen this guy try to walk upstairs? It might work. So, folks, you're not going to believe this story. A bear walks into a hotel kitchen in Aspen, Colorado, and you know what it does? It goes all Hell's Kitchen on the security guard. I mean, who knew bears had a taste for fine cuisine, right? They say the food at the St. Regis Aspen Resort is so good, even the bears can't resist. Yeah. So, across the pond, the UK is getting all serious about cryptocurrency regulation to fight economic crime. They're tightening that regulatory belt, which I guess means you'll need a crypto license just to pay for your fish and chips soon. Oi, mate, got a permit for that Bitcoin? It's like they're treating cryptocurrency as the new tea, something they need to regulate and tax. And that reminds me of something that happened in Boston a while back. Instead of throwing tea overboard, maybe they should throw over the regulators. Yeah. Oh, cracks me up. So Best Buy is recalling nearly 1 million pressure cookers due to a defect. You know, it's a serious issue when even the appliances are fed up with 2020 and 2021, spewing hot food like, I've had enough of this. And I can relate. Well, it appears that Mark Zuckerberg's quest for the metaverse is costing him a pretty penny. Meta's Reality Labs has lost a staggering $46.5 billion since 2019. That's more money than Best Buy's entire revenue. Don't worry, Zuckerberg's net worth, it's skyrocketed. He's now the 10th richest person in the world. How do you get richer? By blowing $46 billion. I think those tech guys might be pulling some shenanigans. Yeah. So Jason Momoa, you know him. His high school girlfriend waited in line to see him in Iowa. I guess it's true what they say. Even Aquaman can't escape his ex. And looks like Taylor Swift is on a mission to re-record her albums. And she's doing it so well that her old albums are starting to feel like the flip phone of music. The way she's re-releasing them, you'd think she was trying to single-handedly turn her music into a collector's item that nobody actually collects. Swift is like the Elon Musk of pop music, constantly upgrading and rendering the old versions obsolete. It's only a matter of time before she starts sending her albums into space. And Disney's Snow White reboot is facing yet another delay, and people are speculating that it's due to the changes made to avoid stereotypes. It's so politically correct that even the 7 dwarfs have been replaced with magical creatures. I guess they figured it was better to offend magical creatures than real-life dwarfs. And it seems like the Earth has its own version of cosmic emissions. Yeah. Helium-3 is leaking from our planet's core. I guess even the Earth has its own kind of silent but deadly moments. Yeah. And lastly, you know, we got these Boston robotic dogs. They're now giving tours in different accents. They got a British one, an American one, and of course a teenage girl robot who's like totally over it. I mean, is this the future, or are they just barking up the wrong robot? Yeah. Anyway. So that's a monologue. That is the monologue. And yeah, that was a dozen jokes. You ever try writing jokes? It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I enjoy doing that. We got a good show today. Got a couple things to get to. I wanted to debut my new bit. Not quite ready yet, which is Tweets from the Dead. I think I decided that I would pick a popular tweet and then have 6 dead people respond to it. Didn't get around to making the graphics yet. Like I say, I was chopping wood all day. Wasn't exactly chopping. I mean, I had a chainsaw, but so didn't quite get that. Show us the mug. You say this is just a tiki mug here. This is a small. This is a very small mug, but I have a set of, I think 10 of these. It's a fun thing for a party, and you can take it to a party if you have a nice tiki drink that you can make for everyone. You just make the tiki drink and fill it up. I like doing a blue Hawaiian when I go to a party. Really easy to do. It's a blender drink, and you can just, you know, you fill the tiki mugs, and there you go. Pretty good. But yeah, so let me do a quick check-in with let's see. There we go. Quick check-in. Boom, boom, boom. Too many mice on my desk. Apothecary John, OX_00. Yeah, we do need some clickbait titles and things that people search for. Also, some good thumbnails. We need some good thumbnails, and I'll work on that. Lucid says, I don't write jokes, I'm just sarcastic. You got to be careful when you're sarcastic. Often, it helps to do a little chuckle afterwards or give some kind of indication that you were making a joke. If you are very dry, and sometimes, depending on my mood, I can just sound very dry. And I do not, you know, unless if I'm feeling up like I am now and I'm expressive, you know when I'm being sarcastic. But if I'm in a bad mood and I'm tired, I can be sarcastic, and my delivery is so dry you wouldn't even know. So if you're going to be sarcastic, you know, give a wink, give a nod, give an elbow, give a chuckle. You got to do something. Yes, this would make a nice all right jar. So I think I've done better on all right, but you're right. All right. Eerie Fairy made up a corny dad joke. What did the crow say to the ghoul that stole its ear of corn? Macabre, macabre. That's pretty. Yeah. No, I'm not doing firewood for winter. I had a tree that needed to be removed, and it gets expensive, and I didn't want to hire people to remove it. It would have cost a whole lot of money, and it's just cheaper if you got a a chainsaw. My chainsaw is tiny. It's like a Sony's My First chainsaw. It's like a kid's chainsaw. It's like a, I don't know. It's got like maybe a 14-inch. Not very big, and the chain comes off, every 8 minutes or so, and I have to take it off, put it back on, tighten it back up. But whatever, it works. It's doing pretty good. City of London, that's right, which is within London. I, like the Vatican, is inside Rome. It's the financial hub of the world. Yeah, this is London. No, is this London? No, this is New York, right? I should know. This is New York. I don't know what I'm doing. Fisher-Price chainsaw. Indeed. Bit of a Fisher-Price chainsaw. That is true. OX_00. I learned how to chainsaw about 2 years ago watching YouTube videos. I have a lot to cut and clear out. I was worried about safety when I started out. I got the hang of it. Yeah, it's not that hard, especially if you got a tiny chainsaw. Tiny chainsaw is no big deal. In fact, I've seen something on Temu. Are you familiar with Temu? It's this Chinese website that you can order like just cheap crap. I love it. I love it. It's great. They actually on there have a chainsaw that attaches, I think it attaches to a drill, like to your cordless drill. So it's like just a little handheld chainsaw. I'm not sure exactly what you're cutting with that, but looked kind of fun. I was talking about London and money stuff. Yeah. England and CBDCs. That's what I was doing. I've been up since like 6 today. I'm tired. Oh, man. Yeah, still haven't got my Portland night skyline yet. I'll get that soon. We're working on it. But, I like the top 12 list that I've been doing. So, I did write another top 12 list for today. Now, you may have heard that they're melting down Robert E. Lee statues. They're recycling history like it's scrap metal, That's what I call turning a Confederate into a real melting pot. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. They said, they melted down the statue in Charlottesville, the Robert E. Lee statue, the one that there was a big hubbub about years ago. That was the Unite the Right rally that had the tiki torches and the all the chaos, right? Good people on both sides. That was where that hoax started. But they melted it down. Of course, they said they did it in secret, but the Washington, I think the Wall Street Journal was there to film it. It's not exactly too secret, but here's the top 12 things America needs to melt down. Yeah. Okay. Again, I need an intro, need some music, but you can use your imagination. Number 12, top 12 things America needs to melt down. The DMV. Let's move it to a giant theme park called Bureau Beach, because if you're going to stand in line, you should get a ride afterwards. Number 11, any business office that rents to a telemarketing firm. I'd be for that. Number 10, every construction delay on the streets. Now, in New Mexico, we called it orange barrels. In Portland, we called it normal. Melt it all. That's what I say. Things we need to melt down in the USA. Number 9, Red Lobster. Listen, Des Moines, it's not fresh. It's not fancy. It's an embarrassment. Melt it down. Number 8, DEI and CRT. Every department, every book, every policy. Let's make it a bonfire. Number 6, And on that bonfire, let's add all the junk mail. Seriously, burn it all. Number 6, tangled tangled Christmas lights. Turn them into a festive firework extravaganza because untangling them is just too damn much work. Number 5, what U.S. has to melt down. That's the designated hitter rule in baseball. Nobody likes that. Number 4, anyone driving the speed limit in the left lane. We take your car, we melt it down. Number 3, every single self-service checkout. You're in the pile. Number 2, can we just Ticketmaster and all their convenience fees? Yeah, I think we can. And the number one thing America needs to melt down, the IRS. Let's be like Burning Man and make it a Burning the Man bonfire. Oh. Thanks for sticking around as I amuse myself. Do I wait 6 months to get an item from Temu? No, actually, they make a promise. They say you'll get it I think within 10 days. And if you don't get it within 10 days, they give you $5 off your next purchase. So that's pretty cool. One of the things that I got that is fantastic, I tell you, and it was a 3-item set, and it was a little plastic brush that attached to a drill. Okay, so one was a big brush, about like this big. One was small, and then one was like a toilet bowl brush, and it attaches to your drill. So if you had, some stains or some, watermarks or whatever they're called, and kind of tough to get out, you don't actually have to scrub that, right? You just attach it to the drill, nice and clean. I used the flat big brush on my shower to clean the grout. Just sprayed the whole thing down with the foaming stuff. Got my drill, had this thing, and I just put it on and just cleaned the grout. Oh, look brand new. So I really recommend it. It was like $4 or something. It's a great deal. Anyway, they take everything and then they put it in a vacuum sealed bag, and you get it direct from China. Yeah. But I think it takes about 10 days. So it's not Amazon. It's not Amazon, but it's a lot cheaper. And you're not going to get high quality stuff here, okay? You're not going to want to spend any money repairing it. This is all disposable crap, right? From China. It's kind of like a fancy dollar store or something, but everything's not $1, but still very cheap. But Temu, yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Wait, how did McDonald's not make the top 12? Well, I just wanted to have one restaurant. I was trying not to be too cliche, I don't know, Cracker Barrel or something. I don't know. And I personally have a little disdain for Red Lobster. It seems way too overpriced for me. I mean, it's just like an Applebee's, right? Why is it so damn expensive, right? It's Applebee. It's like an Applebee's with shrimp. So, I don't know. Not a fan. And, again, like explaining jokes never makes it funny. But yeah, I was just sitting here typing out the jokes about 2 hours ago. So yeah, but that was the top 12. I'm going to try to work on this tweets from the dead. I think probably like 6 would be a good number. I don't want to overdo the joke, but that's a new bit that I'm working on. I got to make a little Photoshop for it, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Now, I did want to share one thing with you. I posted, for the first time, I've had this channel a number of years, a video with no audio on Tuesday. I thought that was just wrong. How could I do that? How could I make that mistake? I realized how I made the mistake. I exported the file in my Final Cut, and I didn't check it afterwards. I just exported it, and I had I was doing some video animation stuff that didn't have any audio, so I just had it clicked on video, and I didn't change it back. And I exported the file, and I didn't bother playing it to make sure that it worked, because I've never made that mistake before. So live and learn. But I did a book review on this book here by Scott Adams called Reframe Your Brain, and I thought I'd just give you a quick, just tell you what was in the little thing, the book review that I did. Scott Adams, he's a streamer, and he streams on YouTube and on Rumble as well. Rumble is also part of Locals. I've not yet really done anything with Locals. Locals is kind of like a premium place where you can earn extra money, you know, kind of like a Patreon kind of thing for a Rumble. I haven't done that yet, but he does that. He streams on that, but he streams on Rumble and on YouTube every day. Every day. It's funny, you watch it and you wonder, dude, you're worth like almost, I don't know, tens of millions of dollars, and you don't seem to do anything. Like, you don't travel. You don't, like, what are you doing? You got all this money, and you're just cooped up in your, I'm sure it's a nice house, right? You're just stuck in your nice house all by yourself. Like, that's what you do? I mean, he's essentially hit the lottery, right? He's in the 1% of wealth, and he just sits around. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stay home all the time. But anyway, this book is called Reframe Your Brain, The User Interface for Happiness and Success. And essentially, the whole thing is about reframes. And what a reframe is it's just a very simple way to look at something differently. Okay? So, for example, you could think, oh my goodness, this happened, and now everybody heard about this embarrassing thing or whatever. Well, you've heard the all publicity is good publicity, right? That's a reframe. It's taking the way you look at something, and then flipping it around in a way that it can be positive, that it can work for you. Okay? So, like, for example, here is a reframe. The usual thing is, I'm bored with life. Oh, I'm bored. I'm bored with life. And the reframe would be, I'm not embarrassing myself enough. So if you're bored, you need to be doing something that you might become embarrassed about. And that's just a way to flip it and think about it in a different way. See, what are some other, another... Oh, here's a frame. I'm in pain, right? We all got that. I'm in pain. Nobody wants to be in pain. But the reframe is, I'm in pain for this minute. Yeah. And that's a way to kind of let yourself know, I'm not always going to be in pain. And it's just a way to deal with it. Now, there's some reframes that I have had my whole life. One of the reframes, I used to play soccer. I was very competitive. I'd get really upset. And my dad told me, the referee is always right, even if they're not. Right? And he had to tell me that a lot. But once I decided that the referee is always right, it made it a lot easier when I was playing. And the referee would make a call. I wouldn't agree with the call, right? I can't believe he missed that call, or I shouldn't have been charged for that, or I don't know why he gave me a yellow card just because I kicked the guy in the stomach. You don't... but if you can just accept the reframe that the referee is always right, then you don't get upset. You don't spend all of this negative energy about, oh, how the referee did me wrong. Because the referee's always right. And you can also think of it in the same way. The judge, right? The jury, they're always right. Now, it doesn't mean that they're actually literally right. I mean, the referee is not literally always right, but in this case, it's a reframe to help you deal with it better. I think that's a good reframe. But there are lots of them. That's what this entire book is about. Just reframes in different areas. Each chapter, I think one of the things that he did really well is it's really edited down, okay? And the language is very simple. So I'm going to say for the most part, this is at best middle school vocabulary. So it's very easy to read. It's broken up into chapters, super, super simple. But it could actually be, I think, one of the best self-help books ever written. I really think so. So anyway, that's what I talked about in the video that I did not have the audio on. And I don't agree with everything that he says in this book, but, I don't agree with everything that I said a year ago. So, don't get hung up on that. I think if you can pick out a couple reframes that you get out of the book that are helpful, that maybe help you achieve something that you wanted to achieve, and just by looking at it in a different way, it helped you out, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. I do have a video, just like a 1-minute video review. If you go on Amazon and you look for the book and you look at the reviews, and I think if you click on like pictures and video, you can find my review there. If you watch the little 1-minute review on Amazon and then buy it, I think I get some kind of finder's fee or affiliate thing. I haven't done that yet, so I don't know if I I don't know if I get a nickel or a quarter or a dollar or whatever. I have no idea. But I did put a little thing that's on Amazon on that. So that's kind of cool. So let me see what is happening here. Let's see. I listened to an audiobook by Scott Adams about failing his way into success, or just trying so many things, the learning skills through each of the different experiments. I had no idea that he something. Yeah, I think his books, his non-Dilbert books, right? He's the creator of Dilbert. Really good. And I think very, very helpful. Very helpful. He understands some things. It's funny for someone, I think seems like a really bright guy. It's incredible if you watch his show how he has some blind spots, and you're thinking, how can somebody so smart have these blind spots? But that's just an example that we all do, right? We all can't be experts on everything. I try, but yeah, we all can't know everything. And it is funny to see that. That sounds like it could be a mess. That's with the drill with the thing. You want to make sure if you have the drill that you attach to the brush that you have like an extender, right? Because you don't want to put your drill all the way down into the toilet. So I have an like a 1-foot extension that goes into my drill, and then it attaches to that, and it spins around in a circle, but it can spin around in a circle. It doesn't go flying out. So that's fine. Seems like Scott Adams reframed his brain to enjoy being a homebody. Yeah, maybe he did. I just think if you're a millionaire, if you're worth like tens of millions of dollars, right? And you're a bright guy and you're in shape and all that, how can you stay at home? Like, we got an incredible world out there. Go take a trip somewhere. You can take a trip to Argentina. That's what I've been kind of obsessing about recently. The Eerie Fairy Tales has a great channel. Woo! I did not know that. I'm going to have to look into that. How would you reframe a mass shooting? Well, I think the reframe would be for people that are in danger or people that are in mental distress, right? And so for when people are in mental distress, often they do crazy things, right? Because they don't, honestly, they don't have the creativity to see something else. So, one of the things with shootings is the people that do, it's so tired, right? It's like it's been done before. If you like have some urge to do something, right? This is it. You feel like, oh, I got to do something big, but the media tells you, oh, well, the big thing you do is a mass shooting, right? But what if the media pushed other things that you could do when you were feeling nuts, right? What if the media pushed when you're feeling like that? What if you go do an elaborate prank? What if you tried to do a prank that would get you seen worldwide, right? Because that would probably do as much for your adrenaline. It would probably do as much, obviously I don't know, I guess, hold on. I know what it's like to be a crazy person, but I'm going to say I don't know what it's like to be a crazy person, right? To have all of those thoughts. But the problem is these people, they don't have, they don't know how to deal with all of the stress that's happening to them. So one of the reframes that we can do is, especially if you're depressed, right? One of the reframes is, I haven't exercised enough, right? If I'm feeling depressed, I haven't exercised enough. And if you think that and you go get some exercise, it's going to give you endorphins. It's going to get your blood flowing, right? Your blood, your whole body's connected. Your mind is connected to your body. So if you go do some cardio, right, the blood's going to flow through your brain and you may start feeling differently. You may start thinking differently. Now, I'm not saying this is going to solve everything, but I will say, as someone, I've been teaching dance fitness for over a decade, and I go to other people's classes as well. And I will tell you that every single time I've gone to a class, a lot of times I go to it, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this today. And on my way back afterwards, 100% of the time I felt better. 100% of the time. Now, I haven't like injured myself while I've been at class. So, I might not feel better if I injured myself. If I blew out my Achilles or something, I might feel worse. But mentally, I feel better every single time I go to one of those classes. 100%. There's nothing that's 100% in life, but so far, that's 100% for me. And I've gone to thousands of classes. And every single time I felt better leaving. And so that would be my reframe. If you're feeling nuts, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, go try a dance fitness class or something else, So that would be a reframe for that. Let's see. I'm sorry, Lucia, that you're in pain with your leg. That sucks. I can relate. I am in pain with both of my legs. My lower legs. I'm in pain. It's been a couple months now, all day, every day, like from my knees down. I'm just in pain, and it's really hard. It's really hard. So I get it. Now I'm not in so much pain that I can't do things, right? There's all different levels of pain. But man, I tell you, I understand because I'm in pain every day with that. There's always margarita enhanced reframe, Lucid. I like that. George, hey, Tom, are you familiar with Stitch and Adam? I think you should reach out to them and get on their show. I think the audience would have good crossover and may boost your subs. Honest guys. Okay. I think I may have seen Stitch and Adam. Does one of them not show their face? Right? It has like a little cartoon or something rather than the actual person. I vaguely remember seeing something about them. But obviously, I'm not subscribed to them. But thank you for that suggestion, George. I will look into it. He should have listened to Music to Promote Positive Thinking, the Gunman. Yeah. The thing is, when someone's doing something like that, right, they're not in their right mind, because nobody in their right mind would do that, right? We can agree there. Nobody in their right mind would do that. So they're not in their right mind. And one of the problems is when we're not in our right mind, we're not making rational decisions. So what you have to do is you have to develop a habit before you become irrational, right? So if you've developed a habit of like, I feel like garbage today. Is there a Zumba class I can go to? I'll just go do that. Oh, I'm hopping on my road bike. I'm going to go ride 20 miles or something. If you develop that habit beforehand, then you can deal with it. Because once you become irrational, right, you're not even thinking. You're not even thinking right. So that would be the thing. It's always best to be prepared for that. Yes, and it's sitch, not stitch. Okay, sitch. Yeah, okay. I am somewhat familiar with that. I got a leg problem too, says Natasha. Mild nerve damage, probably. No pain, just weird feelings. I get it. One of the issues that I've had is it is my anterior tibialis, right? Outside of the front of my shins. There's a muscle there that I've had issues with. Just horrible. Jesse says, that's a great idea about being on other shows. I know I have followed channels after seeing them on other channels. Well, yes, I am going to, I'll check them out and see if that's a possibility. And Lucid says here, I would think world would travel around with 10 million bucks. Yeah, I don't even have $1 million and I'm going to be traveling around, you know? And I encourage everyone to travel around. Now, if you're getting your passport, this is a little tip to you, a little tip. If you get your passport, it's like $130 now, 160 bucks. They have a passport card, and that's an additional ID card that is your passport card. Now, it doesn't replace your passport, okay? I think you can use it to go to Canada or Mexico, but you can't travel to Colombia with just the card. But it's only $30. It works as a real ID, right? And it's just extra insurance, right? You leave one thing, you carry one on you, you carry your passport on you, you leave the passport ID, the passport card, like in your Airbnb. That way, if anything happens, at least you still have some like valid ID, so you can get home and you're not like stuck somewhere. So that's my little tip if you're going to be traveling. But speaking of traveling, couple things I wanted to share here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I thought this was kind of fun. So let's do this and do this. Okay. So this is South America, and I was writing in my brain a way that I could remember all of the countries in South America. Now, I've never finished this story, but here's what I want to say. Now, let's see. Now, you can't see. Oh, that's interesting. You can't see the cursor. Oh, well, I can click here. So here's my little story that I started to write as a way to remember all of the countries in South America. And I think once you hear this, you're going to remember these countries forever. You're going to remember these forever. So as we know, right, the Panama Canal, right, is what separates North America from South America, or South America from Central America, right? So South America starts right here, okay? And so you right where it's flashing Colombia. So that's how you enter South America. So if you're coming from North America and you're coming down and you go through the Darien Gap. You cross there, and you see all the immigrants walking the other way. You go through the jungle, and you arrive right here in Colombia. And the way that you remember that that's where you arrive is, what is Colombia known for other than cocaine? Okay, we know that. But what else is Colombia known for? Coffee. Colombia is known for coffee. They have the best coffee in the world, right? And so if you're entering someplace, you go to someone's house, they come in, you offer them, they welcome them in. What do you do? Welcome in with a cup of coffee. Of course, you're entering South America, they give you a cup of coffee. So right then, you will see that when you enter South America, boom, you're in Colombia. Now, right then, I think you're going to remember where Colombia is for the rest of your life. That little trick right there, the rest of your life. See, I'm just checking here. Yeah, coffee, exactly. So just to the right of Colombia, we have Venezuela. And there's lots of little islands right above Venezuela. And Venezuela is, it's like little Venice, right? Think of Venice, Italy. Okay? Venice, Italy, they have the gondolas, right? The little boats. And so right here in Venezuela, they have all the little islands around it. Think of people coming in by boat. Think of people in Venezuela leaving by boat to go to Mexico to come into the U.S. As we've heard, last month they surpassed Mexicans as being the number one people crossing into the United States. But they have all the little islands around them, like Venice, Italy. And so you can remember Venezuela. Now, here's where it gets good. So this is Venezuela right here. Now there's 3 little countries to the east of Venezuela. Okay? And they are Guyana, and it starts G-U-Y, so like guy, right? Then we got Suriname, or Sur, okay? And then we got French Guiana, or French guy. So just think of these as the 3 amigos. Right? The 3 amigos. We've got Guy, Sir, and French guy. Guy, Sir, and French guy. And you have now learned these 3 little countries across the north of South America. So we got Guy, Sir, and French guy. Pretty cool. Now, just to be, if you want to be technical, French Guiana is not actually a country. It's like a French territory. It's actually part of France. But we won't get concerned with that. We'll just kind of treat it like it's a country. Guy, Sir, and French guy. So right then, you have learned the 5 countries going across the top of South America. Should we keep going? Yeah, I think so. Rumble gang gang. I visited a Venezuelan island back when tourism was good there. Yeah, it's probably been a while. Venezuela not doing well. Some people will say it's because of their socialism, and some people will say it's because of all of the sanctions that we've put on them. And I would say it's both. It's both. Okay, so the big country down here, south of Venezuela, south of Guyana, Guy, south of Suriname, Sir, south of French Guiana. So we got Guy, Sir, and French guy. We've got Brazil. That's the big one. And they have one of the biggest rivers in the world. Big jungle river. Amazon. That's home to the Amazon River. Goes all the way across Brazil. Okay? Yeah, Amazon, indeed. And you probably have Amazon, or you know somebody that does. You get the free shipping, right? Because you're paying, what is there, $17 a month or whatever for Prime. You got your Amazon Prime streaming service, right? So we've got, and I wish I could use the cursor on the screen, but I can't. Anyway, we got an Amazon River going all the way across, and it goes all the way across right here to Peru. Okay, now here's where I'm getting dad jokey, okay? Think of Amazon.com, right? What do you do on Amazon.com, right? Well, you can scroll through Amazon.com, right? You can surf through Amazon.com, or, here we go, if you're going to buy something, you sure want to check out the reviews, right? The reviews. You want to peruse. You want to peruse the reviews on Amazon. So you're perusing the review, and so the Amazon River goes from Brazil right here to Peru. And that bad joke, perusing the Amazon, that bad joke, you will remember that this right here, this is Peru. Now, just above Peru, if this were a better map, we would have the equator, and the equator goes right through the middle of this country, and it is Ecuador. Like the equator, Ecuador. So that is, that's how you do that. Now, so far, we've learned Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Brazil, Peru, and Ecuador. That's all I've written so far. I haven't come up with ways to remember the last 5 countries. I mean, I know them, but I haven't come up with a clever way to remember them. So I'll work on that to finish the story out so that we can remember all of the countries of South America. But yeah, Machu Picchu is in Peru, indeed. Never been to Peru. But my friend Danny, born in Peru. Parents were missionaries. So he was down there where they were doing missionary work, and that's where he was born. So yeah, hopefully within the next couple days, I'll figure out the rest of the story so that we can remember Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, and Chile. Speaking of Argentina, I'm loving this presidential campaign. I can't get enough. I'm sure nobody else cares at all about this, but I wanted to show you one thing. This is the guy that's running for president. This is probably going to be the next president of Brazil. I'm going to turn up the volume. Again, I haven't learned how to play a clip and have it play to you at the same time, so it just goes through the mic. But Javier Milei destroys a piñata of the central bank for his birthday. Future president right there. So there you go. That is the future president. Hopefully the future president. I'm a big fan of Argentina smashing a piñata of the central bank. I wish we had politicians that felt the same way about the central bank in this country. Because frankly, it's the kind of the root of a lot of problems that we have. That's for sure. What kind of candy is inside? Exactly. Exactly. Just destroy the central bank, right? um, they won't let him be president if that's true. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if, fortunately, right? Fortunately, as far as I know, they don't have Americans running the polls down in Argentina. And what was amazing for the first round, so there were 3 candidates, and you had to get to, I think, 45% outright to win. And if you didn't, then the top 2 would have a runoff. So they're having a runoff next month. And the person in third place actually endorsed him. So it's looking good for him. But they were able to count all the votes in Argentina and announce it with 99% reporting by midnight local time. This developing country that's obviously not at the level of the United States, they're able to count all the votes by midnight, and yet here it took a couple days. I don't know. I think I would trust their system a little bit more than I would trust ours. So, yeah. Yeah. So, let me just check. Yeah, let me look one last time here on the chat. Let's see. Lucid says, I was in construction, loved working. I'm a 6G certified welder. I worked and traveled the United States. That sounds good. Okay. I got retired about 16 months ago. Well, cool. Got retired. That sounds like a reframe. I agree. That is a reframe. I got retired. Wow. A 7x10 tube steel wall I was working on fell through the forks of a forklift and smacked my leg as it hit the floor. Ouch. Wow. Ouch. Yeah, it's a little bit more pain than I'm in. That's for sure. Understatement, of course. Indeed. Natasha says, I'm liking the geography lesson. Guess I'm geeky that way. I think it's kind of fun. And one of the things that I think is fun is just, I like the idea of trying to figure out different ways of remembering things, different ways of teaching things. And I've been really fascinated with Latin America and South America, right? Last couple of years. And I thought, I should know all the countries. There should be a way that I can teach people the countries in a short time, in a couple minutes, just a little story to teach them the things. And I would be interested if you were to go take a quiz on South America, just with the ones that we learned. If you had to say, oh, where is French Guiana? It's one of the 3 amigos, and it's the third one, left to right, because it's Guy, Sir, and French Guy. So just think of the guys on the outside and the Sir in the middle. So Guy, Sir, French Guy. And I think perhaps you'll be able to remember all of those. Brazil's got the Amazon, and it goes into, and when you're in the Amazon, when you're on Amazon.com, you want to peruse the reviews, right? You peruse the review into Peru. So I think that's a way that we can all remember that. Natasha says, well, I do know where Sudan is. Yeah, I was thinking, I might be able to write a story for all of Africa. There's a lot more countries there. Same thing in Bolivia, where the elected president was just replaced a few years back. It's interesting. U.S. doesn't need candidates in other countries. Peru had recently, a year ago, elected a more left-leaning president. I don't know a lot about him, but he was overthrown quickly and replaced. Isn't it funny how that happens? And often it turns out that the people that, overthrow countries around the world, they all seem to have ties to, I don't know, USAID. They all seem to have ties to different organizations that are often are for fronts for three-letter agencies out of the East Coast, shall we say. I don't know. Probably a coincidence. Yeah, anyway. That's all I have for you tonight. It's Friday night. This was midnight Americano. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to do the show next. Am I going to do a show tomorrow? I don't think I'm not going to do a noon show, but I may. I'm not committing to it right now, but I may do a show tomorrow night at this time again. And the way that you will know is I will, I'll post it on my channel, at least 3 hours before I go live. It'll be there and it'll say upcoming stream. But I may or may not. I just haven't decided yet. I'm going down to visit my folks. It was my dad's birthday, and I was going to go down and visit them. But tomorrow I'm taking this all this tree stuff to the dump. I don't know. I might be exhausted after that, so I might not want to drive down. So I might stick around here and do a show, but I haven't decided yet. So anyway, that's all I have. I appreciate everyone joining me tonight. If you could do me a favor, if you're watching live right now, even if you haven't, hey, Jim's here. Will it be Halloween themed? You know what? What the hell? What the hell? We can do it. We'll do it Halloween themed. I'll have to find a Halloween costume, but I think I can do that. But if you have stayed through to the end, even if you haven't left a comment, that's okay. But do me a favor, just smash that like button. Right, that's what the kids say. Smash the like button. I know we're not going to get 50 likes, but that's the graphic I made years ago. But just let me know you're a real person, not a bot. That would mean a lot to me. But anyway, hope you all have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Until then, peace.